Welcome back. Now, we finished off Van's route number 2 here in Act 2. So it's off over to Rean's route, and we're going to have 2 extra characters. But who? So anyway, what lies beyond the canopy, which I assume will refer to like the firmament, the sky, you know, so let's go see. Because there is an observatory. It's right there in that image, right there. July 10th, 5:05 p.m. Don't know how much of this area will be involved in the rounds this time, though.
Looks like this room's clear of wiretaps, too.
The windows are pretty sturdy, so I don't think they do any crazy spy stuff like analyzing the vibrations from outside to make out what we're saying.
Damn.
No signs of remote shard interference either. Still, I'll keep the canceller going just in case.
Got it. Nice work, you 3.
I'm starting to feel bad for being so suspicious.
It's wise. You are from Erebonia, after all.
Hardly hurts to be cautious in times like these.
Most of you, anyway. After the field test, Rean's group enjoyed a modest social gathering with the Republican soldiers, officers, researchers, and maintenance crew. They might have been enemies once, but no hostility or resentment remained between the 2 sides. The midday party didn't serve any alcohol, but Director Gotti, Mint, Amelia, and Prince Sharid were able to keep the party alive with their antics. Following that, having left the proving ground, Rean and company checked in at the hotel in Basel with Mint at a little after 5 p.m. 5 minutes after, you might say.
Phew, with today done, that's all our pressing business here wrapped up. Tomorrow we can finally hit the town, see all there is to see in the Chardon district, and enjoy a nice, luxurious vacation.
Sorry, but I don't think it'll be going the way you're thinking.
I bet it would have been a real adventure. But the day after tomorrow is when they launch the manned rocket. The whole point of the space program.
Aw, if only we could have seen it in person from the space base.
You got the Shard way of viewing it, right?
With the way they're keeping things close to the chest, they never would have let outsiders like us get that close. Or who knows, maybe they're keeping other secrets.
Ooh.
Right, like that new assault frame, the Excalibur.
It's almost a guarantee that both it and Major Amelia will be aboard that rocket. Though, I guess they could have another model tuned specifically for outer space. I bet they do. Professor Ez ran all Jiskar's numbers through a program to make sure there weren't any mistakes.
Sounds like you have the inside scoop. That's our Mint. Always sharp as a tack.
You know, I just realized I haven't spoken about something that I wanted to speak about at the end of the previous part. I'll get to it later.
You're too kind.
Don't go giving her too much credit. I'm sure she's accidentally leaked just as much info about us.
Oh, that reminds me. I might have had a minor mishap when handing over your piloting data to the Republican Army. Turns out I gave them something called Zamuria's Spiciest Nightclubs by mistake, but I sent over the data too, so no harm done.
I mean, there's probably harm done, but not in the way you think.
You what? That was supposed to be locked down way deep in my Zypha. Triple password protected.
Crow.
Well, putting the matter of Angelica's travel log aside for now, the real concern is why the Republic needs that kind of weaponry in outer space in the first place.
Good point.
If we're being honest, it's impressive the Republican Army and the Vern Group managed to manufacture something so incredible.
Assuming they did.
Just that single mech was able to push both Rean and Crow's machines that far at the same time. You're right. Its combat capabilities were second to none. They're definitely up to something. What could they really be planning to use it for?
Well, sometimes there are things like meteoroids floating around. But it's weird, you know? It doesn't really seem like they're trying to use it to gain military superiority or anything. After all, their normal models are already way more advanced than anything the Empire has. And this one is way too finicky for any normal pilot to handle.
No kidding. I don't know if even we could pilot such a thing. Regardless, it sounds like if we're going to head to the capital tomorrow, we should be looking into what their real goals are.
Understood. I hope you'll let us back you up if need be.
Based on what we've seen from both Arkwright and the picnicking front, seems like there's a lot going on we're still in the dark about.
I like that's kind of like their official name now.
That almost goes without saying. Worst case, we can exchange information next time we see them at the Garden.
True. In that case, it seems like your request for help in the garden may actually be a useful way to communicate, Altina.
If you say so. I'm still concerned about what Ouroboros' goals there are, though.
Arkwright just opened up the 4th domain recently, so I doubt there will be any new developments there for a bit. For now, why don't we drop by the Institute of Science and get Toa's business squared away?
Oh, right. Sorry. I hope it's not too much trouble.
No, I imagine it will be quite insightful.
Don't sweat it. I'm kinda interested myself.
Count me in! I can totally help with adjusting the telescope!
Stargazing, huh? I guess if we want to do that, the observatory is the place to be. Might be fun. Should be better than that shady-as-hell space program, at least.
Agreed, but we should gather info and handle any remaining 4 SPGs first.
I'm assuming we got the rounds in all 3 areas. Major areas, anyway. After that, the group parted ways with Mint, who was headed to business in Newtown. As the sun began to set, Rean's group decided to take a stroll through Basel. You can now travel to the Basel Institute of Science. It can be accessed via the aerotrams located throughout the city, or by crossing the bridge from the upper level of the artisanal district. Additionally, there's connection events that are now available in Rean's route. See Rean's and Crow's lightweight outfits. Oh. We'll have a look at them. We'll have a look at that. Oh, what we got? Oh.
Well done.
Yes, well done, everyone. Good show. Good show. Equipment, lightweight outfits. Let's have a gander here. Lightweight. Nah, I like your jacket, mate. I like your jacket. Nah, it's the shoulders. They're just weirdly square. It's like, nah, it's okay when there's a jacket, you know. Without it, it just seemed a bit strange. Strange, to be sure. Nothing special going on there with them. Yeah, the thing I wanted to talk about at the end of the previous part that I completely forgot to talk about in my little discussion points there. Genocide mode. That robot had genocide mode. Where have we seen that before? I know where we've seen it before. I'm just waiting to see if you know. Like, wait a minute, where have I seen it before? Trails in the Sky. FC. I think it was in FC. Definitely in the remake. It's like, oh, and how it looks is very reminiscent of that Guardian as well that we saw at the end of FC.
Shard searching.
First chapter, whatever you want to call it. It's like, yeah, it's very reminiscent. Also, why have we got a blue event over there? And it leads me to believe that there's some connection there as well. Maybe. Right, anyway. Come to think of it, there's apparently been some activity on the Kowloon financial front lately. Oh well, maybe I should say Hayway front. It doesn't seem related to the space craze, but either way, better for us ordinary folk not to go craning our necks outside of our lanes. No. We've been informed about you all. Please allow us to provide you with the finest hospitality this hotel has to offer. Tonight's dinner will be a first-class Eurasian-style full-course meal, a variety of VIP services are also being arranged for. Anything to ensure your stay is a comfortable one. Of course, thank you. Though, ironically, I feel as restless as ever. Let's just make our rounds and see what turns up. Let's go see what this blue event is up here then. Go to the hotel room. Yep. Because there is a blue event that awaits us here, so. What? Well, it's a blue event. The blue event just, oh look, you can go up to your room. Which is like, is that it? Wow. Yeah, it's just, here's a thing you can interact with. That's it. That's it. Okay. We'll head towards the 4SPG. And then obviously the red events and the blue event. Which is clearly a movie. As the plan. Are you alright, Kramer? I feel I haven't seen you participating very much in our walking tours this afternoon. Oh, don't mind me. Just not in the best of spirits. Well, if there's anything going on, you're free to come talk to me about it. I don't know the deeper situation and I won't overstep my bounds. But if your goal is traveling... Sorry, the shadow in the distance is just bothering me because it keeps moving. So I know it's meant to be like the big reactory type thing. But it just keeps throwing me off because it's just in stages. Yeah, but if your goal in traveling is to put your feelings behind you, I can help. Not that it's any of my business, of course. Thank you. I appreciate the concern. Oh, she noticed. Did it show on my face that much? She's right, though. There'll be no point in this trip at all if I spend this entire time and this entire thing sulking. I've already been on extended leave as is, but any longer even Ewan would be disappointed in me. Okay, Kramer. No more letting the past tie you down. I need to take this opportunity to broaden my focus. I can never just tell someone to just have fun and get over whatever baggage they've got like it's no big deal. Still turning your head away from the past and living for the future is the best thing you can do for yourself. I agree. And the ideal way to do that is by traveling, if you ask me. Hopefully Kramer starts thinking a little more positive soon. I can see that logic there, like, just get away from everything, like, give you time to refresh, you can focus on different things, new things, which give you different insights. I can see the logic. Not necessarily agree with that aspect, but I can see the logic. I think that more depends on the person, yeah. I finished clearing out the monsters just outside the city, so that pretty much wraps up my daily agenda for the moment. Factory clusters over in that area have been doing full bore recently. So our work's piling up on that end. But as of right now, there haven't been any reports of disappearances or strange monsters like there are in the capital and so forth. Here we've got the vestiges over there. That's something to be grateful about, but I just hope it's not the calm before the storm. It's the calm before the storm. As it is now, Basil doesn't have any major disturbances or incidents going on. Not outwardly, at least. But in a city so closely tied to the space program, assuming nothing will happen is just asking to be proven wrong. Apparently there were active Jaegers about during the day, too. Can't say for sure there won't be another mess like theirs. Oh dear. My, here come the fuzz. We're currently fine-tuning the city's security measures. Apparently a military exercise is scheduled for the day after next, during which air fleets will be passing over Basil. The day after next? Foreign delegations will also be in attendance, so we'll want to work toward making a proper announcement. What's making the noise? Oh. There's like just something going like chink, 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 chink. Is it this lifting up and down? But why is it not going up now? Like that car's just going to be stuck there. Is that car just stuck there then? No, I need to get through it. Beep beep. No, beep 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 beep. Oh, poor guy's just stuck. All right, calm down, dear. Prepare for some space-themed merchandise on your Basil sightseeing trip. With the launch just around the corner, You all want a good souvenir to remember it by. Will I? Oh, best get one then. Hello! Welcome to the aerotram platform. Please mind your hands and feet when boarding. You may also like to know that this route provides a clear view of Orge Canyon. It's one of Basil's most famous, picture-perfect sights, especially under the glow of golden hour, so consider giving it a look yourself. So I'm trying to think like what this actually reminds me of. It's like there's actually a canyon like this in France. It's very reminiscent. If you actually looked at pictures, you might be confused and be like, "Oh, that's the Grand Canyon." No, no. There's a massive canyon down in. It's more, I'd say, it's central southern France, like just towards the Alps. There's like a big canyon. It's like very reminiscent of this. I was just wondering if they got inspired by that in some regard. Like, Phew, I landed a good contract today. Now I can clock out on a high note. Might not be a bad idea to stop for a drink on the way home, even for the first time in a while. Maybe I'll invite my friend Cindy along too. It could be good. Could be good for Cindy as well.
Right then.
Alright then. There's a 4SPG on the bulletin board, is there? Where? There's nothing! Test bike trouble. I am Tao Ming, an advertising manager for Red Star products at the Motor Pavilion. I've received reports that for some inexplicable reason, only the test bikes provided at the Motor Pavilion have been experiencing malfunctions among Red Star Orbital bikes. Could you investigate this matter? I'll be waiting for you at the Motor Pavilion. But of course. Let's head on that way then. This here's the Dread Power Company's new drink. Dread Power. Next time you need an energy boost, just gulp some down and see the results. Dread Power. That sounds dreadful. Come to think of it, I hear the Crown Prince of Alsame is in town. Is he now? Oh, yeah. Despite sponsoring the Verne Company and the Institute of Science, his nation's excluded from the nitty-gritty of the space program. Could that mean he's here to dig his way in himself? Well, I guess his prying isn't for me to pry into. Still, the fellow investor in me can't help but be curious. It's Jess. Now that I have some new song ideas, it's time for a long overdue return to Anchorville. There really is no place like home. Nowhere better to relax and get my thoughts together. Coming back all by myself sits a little oddly, though. I just always assumed the two of them would be tagging along too. Aww. Anchorville, memories are still with me. Guess I'll never be able to forget about you after all, Raymond. But that's alright, because now I can move on. So you rest easy too, wherever you are. Is it the gallery? A museum? No. Anyone else on this level? I don't think so. Let's go up. Do-do-do. Land surveys of East Sumeria are being planned under the scope of Project Startaker. The Transcontinental Railroad's long-time goal of actually stretching from one end of Sumeria to the other might finally be in reach. Man, how exciting is that? Just as folks in the industry on the edge of our cabooses. I like cabooses there because of trains. Because a train has a caboose. You know, like the edge of our seat. Yeah. Anyway, well, now that I'm stocked up on what I need, it's back to Anchorville for me. I was hoping to pop up and by and say hello to Giscard, but he seems to be pretty swamped, so I'll hold off this time. Just send a congratulatory gift his way, though, if Project Startaker pans out. If. Alright, we've got to go here then. Mr. Tao Ming's right to be concerned. I just hope we manage to find the cause. Right, mate. Good evening. We're here to answer a bulletin board posting we saw. Would you happen to be Mr. Tao Ming from Red Star? I am, but aren't you the group from Thor's Military Academy? Way over in the Empire? And all that talk about you acting as proxy Spliggins is true after all. Wait, so you put up a Ford SPG already knowing that? That's somewhat surprising. I'll to tell you the truth, I consulted with the Bracer Guild first, seeing as this pertains to civil safety. But they told me there was a party from Erebonia acting in Arkwright Solutions' stead, some of whom were involved in Orbital Bike development. And this is also being an Orbital Bike matter, so I decided you would be better suited to taking it on. So that's it. Of course you're fine. Makes me wish we brought George or Angelica with us. Sounds like Alex has our backs though, as far as pushing work on us goes. At any rate, I'd be much obliged if you could hear out my request. This is our mechanic in charge of maintenance. If there's anything you don't understand about the job, talk to him. The name's Hongley. Nice to meet you. Not the part of my resume I expected to land me work in the Republic. But hey, no complaints here. Just give us the deets. Your test bikes are on the fritz or something? Yes, according to the reports we've received from customers taking our bikes out on test drives, apparently they're experiencing engine stoppage or abnormal motor rotation under specific conditions. Hasn't caused any runaways or other full-blown accidents yet, but it's only a matter of time. Under specific conditions, you say? How curious. I should also mention that we disassembled a bike to inspect, but none of the components were worn, damaged, or out of specification, so something else is interfering. On top of that, our only demo models are affected. There have been no reports of the ones being sold. That's another oddity to keep in mind then. Like you're trying to sabotage sales. So it's like, once you've got it, they don't care, because it's like, well, we didn't deter you from buying it. That's what I'm thinking. Especially if checking the parts didn't bring you any closer to the cause. Actually, riding the bike and reproducing the conditions would definitely narrow down the candidates. Of course, that'd be a dicey proposition. No worse than any of this shit we trudged through already. In fact, I'd say that makes us even more qualified. You certainly are eager to dive headlong into peril. Guess that's to be expected from pioneers of orbital biking. So does that mean we can count on your aid? Yes. Bit of chaos in that. Leave it to us. No matter the cause, if there's any chance of an accident, then it's best dealt with as soon as possible. Oh, wonderful. I couldn't possibly be more grateful, or tremendously relieved at that. Our pleasure. Now, could you start by showing us the bikes in question? Yes, follow me.
Let's see what we can do.
Test bike trouble. Brum. This is one of our demo models used at the Motor Pavilion. Signs of faulty maintenance or missing parts that I can see. Yeah, nothing strikes us out of the ordinary. To the best of our know-how, anyway. And I performed a shard echo detection as well. There doesn't appear to be any internal damage. This might be as far as we can get when it isn't running. In that case, yep, onto the quick and dirty method. As I thought, actually seeing it go out of order mid-drive would be our most reliable bet. Could you mind us taking a bike out for a short road test? Not like we didn't already figure there'd be some risk. Be back in one piece before you know it. And by all means, go right ahead. Or that, also mention that the malfunctions only happen under specific conditions. Could you tell us more about them? Of course, they're prone to occurring during sudden accelerations and decelerations, tight turns and other sharp movements. Or in more extreme cases, while performing stunts such as wheelies or drifts. Who's testing it doing that? Customers who engage in these acts will reportedly experience sudden engine cutoffs and brake failures. That'd be kind of a tool to pull that stuff on a borrowed property. Yeah! Test drive or not. Yeah, I agree, Fee! But on the flip side, that means a safe driver wouldn't have half as many problems. Regardless, so long as the cause remains unknown, the latent risk may be no different. Alright, can't afford to ignore this. A deeper investigation will go a long way here. Great, the two of us will take out one of these puppies for a spin. Alright, we appreciate you putting yourself in harm's way for this. A bit of danger money, you know. Rean and Crow then took a demo bike out for a test drive out on the National Highway, just outside Basel. The pair would swap between it and Crow's bike, which they brought just in case of emergency. I'm pushing 800 Selge an hour. How's it going? Any problems yet? No, far from it. It's been perfectly stable so far. Not much vibration or noise either. Makes for a pretty comfortable ride, actually. What if we switch off? 800 Selge an hour. Yep. Doesn't raise a fuss if I speed up while driving normally. But you're gonna test it, right? It was along just as smooth as my own wheels too, so what if we try this? $1,250 Selge per hour now. Any luck? Okay. I need a moment to figure this out. So, Selge is 100 meters. Right. So, hold on. Let me get my calculator here. So, if that's 1,250 times 1,000. No, times 100 because a Selge is so 1,250 times 100. That's how many meters it is. Okay, so we divide that by 1,000. So 125 kilometers per hour. I mean, I could have converted it easier, but it's just the easiest way of doing it for me. So 125 kilometers per hour, which is around, I'm trying to think, about 78 miles per hour. Somewhere around there. So someone like correct me on that. How close is that? Like, it's 77 or 78, somewhere around there. I think miles per hour. Yeah, but it is 125 kilometers per hour. I opened the throttle pretty hard, but still no dice. Tja, if only we had a better idea of what it takes to make this thing go haywire. What now? Trying to replicate the conditions they mentioned is getting us nowhere. Well, unlike us, the folks who demoed these bikes didn't know squat about them acting screwy. Could be there's some element we're subconsciously overlooking here. Hello? Hey, Imperial heroes. Short time no see. You guys checking out the sights? No, I can't say it looks like you're having much fun. Major Amelia. Wait, didn't you have to return to base? You're a little off track if you haven't noticed. Oh, I'm just touring around. My schedule's about to be packed solid, so I figured I'd wrap up with a quick run through this route. I see, huh? Well, not to interrupt, but do you think we could pick your brain for a second? Rean explained the situation to Major Amelia. I get you. In that case, how's about the three of us have ourselves a race? Strangely, a good way of testing this. A race? Now, there's a good way to push this thing into going out of whack. Yeah, it's a good idea. No better excuse to tear up the pavement and bust out the stunts. Exactly. Try to force the issue and you could be at it forever. But cutting loose with a little competition instead will let the problem replicate itself naturally. And that does make a certain sort of sense. Yeah. Alright, I'm convinced. Consider your challenge accepted. Something tells me you just want to have one last showdown for the road. Aw, am I that obvious? Give me some credit though. If there's old bike trouble, you can bet I'll chip in. Still, a race is a race. You better take it seriously. Say no more. After all the guinea pig work we did for these things back in Erebonia, putting it in just ain't an option. Right. If we won out in the end, today's training exercise taught us the hard way not to underestimate you. So if it's a battle of the bikes you want, Major Amelia, it's a battle you'll get. Could you have lost that battle at all? Of Excalibur? Would that have changed that dialogue, potentially? Alright, now that I'm all warmed up. Ladies first, gents. And fastest chick on two wheels doesn't play around. Fine, time to show off the custom work I got done in the Free Cities. And sure, I'll fight up. Guess I'd better match them. Well, look at you two locking in. Okay, and then how do you like this? Yeah, he's a professional, alright. Did I notice it said kilometers per hour on the speedo there? Which does seem a bit odd. Odd. Don't throw in the towel just yet. We got a rep to uphold here. Catch her on the bend up ahead, Rean. On it. We won't push this back to its breaking point anytime soon unless I ride to win. Now. Should have known you'd keep up. Yeah, still a hair behind. Major Amelia's skills are on a whole other level. That much is obvious, but the same could be said of her bike's performance too. Speed is her style, so odds are it's customized for acceleration. Which means my best shot at beating her is to... It's acceleration. Because if we accelerate, she can accelerate just as well, right? So if it's acceleration, like maintaining speed feels like a better option then. She has the edge when it comes to sprinting, so instead... Yeah, endurance. Playing it safe, eh? You do that while I widen my lead. The turbocharger may be impressive, but there'll be an opening once she's finished accelerating. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like, it'll slow, but you keep building speed slowly over time. You caught up? Not just that, I'm blowing straight past you. Yes. There's no way you can use a boost that powerful back-to-back. Nicely played. Let me guess, you goaded me into going full throttle just before we got to the bend? That way the timing would line right up with her turbocharger's cooldown period. Talk about thinking ahead of the curve. Gotta give you props, Rean. Yeah. Okay, time to really step on it. Step on what? It's a bike. Don't tell me. Just when things were heating up. Good back there, Rean. And I should be able to keep my balance until it slows down enough, but the engine... Yeah, it looks like it's completely shut itself off. Phew, made it through somehow. Yeah, it takes skill rolling to a stop that clean. But anyhow, 100 to 1 says we just found our malfunction. Right, there's no smoke coming out. I didn't hear any parts breaking. Gauges don't suggest it had overheated either. Better pop it open and look inside then. The only question is where? And there's something about the way the engine died. Mind letting me take a peek at the speed limiter? Or safety devices? The limiter and safety devices? You don't suppose? Limiter? Huh. Had my doubts, but yep, I was right on the mark. Looks like the limiter sent a signal to all the safety devices at once, forcing the engine to shut off. So it's just defective? You think anybody involved would have been able to guess that much? Not a defect, actually. Everything's operating exactly as intended. Ooh. Rean's jacket does not like this. Look at it. It's like, woo, 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 behind his ears, look there. Like, woo, 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 woo. Triple dot. In other words, it was engineered to work like this on purpose. Much as I hate to say it, yeah. Someone tampered with the parameters so that the system would overheat to overreact to sudden accelerations and turns. What's more, they installed a mechanism that sends a kill command to the whole drive line at once. Sounds like a pretty elaborate setup to me. Not exactly a long list of people who could have done that much tinkering. Good point. Sounds like you guys are onto something. I'll just go ahead and get out of your hair then. Like, cheers for the help. It's a good idea. Leaving so soon? Yeah, that's enough distractions for one day. Never would have got plans after this. Shame they had to cut the race short halfway though. You guys made it one hell of a bout. And if that helped you out at the same time, even better. For sure. Thanks again, Major Amelia. It's because of you that we got to the truth behind this case. Hadn't expected to compete against you again, either, much less in a scenario like this. It was a good opportunity to redeem ourselves. For what? You guys were the ones who won the training exercise. Still, glad you could all walk away from this with no regrets. Well, that's that. Ready to head back now that we know what the problem is? Yeah, I'm a bit hesitant to bring it up out in the open. But we'll need to cut right to the heart of things in order to resolve this. Sabotage. What a story. I'm just glad you weren't hurt, Rean. So with Major Amelia's help, you managed to ascertain the cause? Yep, turns out this was no defect at all. It's by design. Care to explain why that's the case? Hongli! Dun dun dun! What do you mean? The bikes weren't acting up because their limiters and safety devices had been tampered with. Makes sense you couldn't figure it out when you were only looking for something out of order. It follows that the person who had access to the demo bikes, and only the demo bikes, would be the one in charge of their maintenance. Am I wrong, Hongli? No hiding it now, I suppose. You're right, it was all me. What? Why do such a thing? You must have had a motive. Look, I can see the logic in appealing to customers and outshining competitors. But our higher-ups took it further than I could stand. The publicity they've been pushing is all about flashy stunts and breakneck speeds. And that constantly incited customers to drive our test bikes recklessly. Hongli, I told them to reconsider, but my frontline feedback just got smothered out instead. All that tells me is that our PR department prioritizes profits over human lives. So you took it upon yourself to augment the safety devices in excess with the intent of curtailing the reckless driving itself? The way it sounds, hard braking and sudden engine shutdowns come with their own risks. I mean, Rean wound up in a pretty tight spot, right? Yeah, my balance was thrown off. All at once, out of nowhere. Even when trying to recover, I couldn't adjust the RPM to do so. To be fair, it is probably less likely to cause a major accident than driving like a maniac. But let's be real, as dangerous doesn't equate to safe. You say that like it's something I don't realize. This was the only way I could protest. If nothing else, I intend to spur the higher-ups into re-examining their policies. Hongli, your motives aren't unreasonable. This is a deep-rooted issue. One that can be traced back to the marketing division's disregard for safety. I understand now, but the situation and how you feel, Hongli. It's a dagger to my chest, really. But a lot of trust in you and your abilities. As a manager, I have to notify my superiors of this. In which case, the logical outcome will be his disciplinary dismissal. That won't solve the fundamental problem here, though. I sympathize with him wholeheartedly, and losing such an excellent mechanic will be a heavy blow. But even so, it's my responsibility to make a report. Tell me, how do you think I should handle this? No serious accidents have occurred thus far. It's possible that some were even prevented due to his unauthorized measures. Knowing that, this matter is too complex to close out with just a simple punishment. At least in my eyes. So, alright then, give us a moment to mull it over. What do you guys think would be appropriate, considering their position? The problem should be settled if we... I mean... Ooh. I'm torn on that one. Is that, I was hoping for a third path between the two. We'll go with the turn himself in... considering the group we're with here. It's like, I feel like if I was with Van's group, I'd go more towards the trial run one. But considering this is these guys, the goody two-shoes, like Hongli turned himself in. Frankly, the trouble lies with the upper management brushing off the input of their floor workers. But at the same time, that doesn't justify Hongli's actions. If you ask me, he should own up to his crime and report himself. But at the same time, using that opportunity to raise the underlying issue directly. That is an option, I suppose. This whole episode boils down to the marketing division's negligence. Hong Li reveals his motive and turns himself in. And that leaves the PR department little choice but to confront the elephant in the room. It's definitely one road to a common ground, though Hong Li might have to suffer for it. I recognize the gravity of what I've done. Taking the blame will make the higher-ups give a damn about their employees' concerns for once. And that's all the payoff I could ask for. Very well. I'm sorry it had to end this way, Hong Li. Rest assured that your qualms will be escalated on my end as well. I too need to do my utmost to ensure things never come to this again. After that, Hong Li restored the test bikes to their original state. He and Tao Ming then contacted headquarters to notify them of his transgression. Thank you once again. This whole affair could have seriously tanked our company's reputation. We just did what we could to help. That's all. Glad it made a difference in the end, though. Take it from somebody who's had a hand in the business. You guys got a lot of good stuff going on. I second that. Sure, but we also got a glimpse into the dark side of the industry. We don't see this sort of thing in Rhineford. Or is that just wishful thinking? It's just wishful thinking. There were some factional disputes in the past, but also, but all should be well after the decisive measures Elisa took. Well, unlike them, the Verne Company's organizational structure adds a layer of difficulty when it comes to sweeping reforms. Nevertheless, I'm hoping that this will serve as a springboard toward improving upon these issues, if only slightly. Rest assured, I won't let all the good you've done for us go to waste. We appreciate that. Helping Orbital Bikes reach new heights and wider audiences is more than enough for a reward for us.
Living up to the hype.
You're right.
Our reward's been deposited.
Indubitably. Yes. Merlot. Oh, lovely. Who could have guessed Hong Li was behind this? He admitted it himself, so it must be true. Can't thank you all enough for finding the cause of the problem and a middle ground solution to boot. The underlying issue is deeper than I realized, but I'm committed to calling for improvements on that front, one way or another. Indeed. Alright, I'm thinking we'll end this part here and we'll see what's going on over there. That's Celise up there, isn't it? That's Celise. And who do we have over there as well? Leon? Oh dear. We'll see what's going on with them in the next part. Ta-da for now.